These are mine. Give them back. Cantor Shira, we can sing, even if it's a new melody.
That's part one. We're going to do it again. This is part two.
Let's give Shira at Temple Judea welcome. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom to the Frankel ladies. Shabbat Shalom to so many of you. Cantor Abby is on a well-deserved vacation. So is Iran. So today we have a beautiful Shabbat prepared. This is Lisa on the piano. Very pregnant, Lisa. Very good. Yeah.
That gets
Very
applause.
nice. B'sha'a tova, we say, may it all be in good fortune. And this is Cantor Shira Ginsburg, who just recently became Cantor Emerita at East End Temple after serving there for 18 years in New York City.
I don't look that old, right? I know.
Yeah. She started cantorial school at 16. First time. Recently got married and moved to Florida. So we're so happy to have you here.
Thank you.
So glad.
So happy to be here.
We're going to change things around today because we can. So you all know what we do. Maya Fe'ayom Shabbat Shalom. We'll do it a bit different today. Shira.
Okay, well, we're going to start the same way. We're going to sing together, and then we're going to do it in a round. All that means is that you're going to keep singing what you know, and I'm going to sing something over you, and it's going to be really beautiful, okay? So here we go. So Maya Hayom is on page 10 if you want the words. Maya Hayom Shabbat Shalom Maya Hayom Shabbat
Let's do that one more time. Everybody get warmed up.
Maya Hayom Shabbat
going to greet Shira with our Shabbat Shalom. Ready? Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat. Keep going with me with the Shabbat Shalom. Ready? Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat. One more time. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Listen to them. Shabbat Shalom. They can sing.
It's beautiful.
You can sing, my friends. We're going to thank God for this great opportunity to celebrate Shabbat once again. Tov lehodot. I know it's somewhere in our Sidurim. I didn't get a chance to find where it is. Just listen to the words. Follow, Cheryl. We'll be
Psalm
fine.
92. It's in here.
The words are very easy. Tov lehodot l'Adonai.
Tov lehodot l'Adonai ולזמר לשמך העליון להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות. It's the same thing again if you want to try it. Tov lehodot. Tov lehodot l'Adonai ולזמר לשמך העליון להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות עלי עצור ועלי נבל עלי היגיון בכינור כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך במעשה ידיך טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך העליון להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות ואמונתך בלילות.
If you can still breathe, take a deep breath. Exhale the oil of your week. That's such a good week. Come on, we're Jewish. Take a deep breath. That sounds a little bit more like it. So, Shira, we have a tradition here. We take the oils, we sprinkle a bit of J, a little bit of the Jewish magic, and we make it into joys. And so we focus on the next 25 hours on everything that is joyful, because complaints we can do all the time. There's no problem. But joys, we have to kind of that. So when you get two new people who just moved to the area and came first time to Temple, and Robert and Helen are here. So welcome from Ballin Isles. And I want, what? No? Roberta and Harvey. Sorry, right. It's only their first time. When they come 7 times, I'll know their names. They'll find. It doesn't matter. They feel welcome. That's all that matters. Welcome, everyone. We have more simchas, tell me, yes, Iris.
62 years ago, on Father's Day, we got married.
62 years ago, Iris and Richard got married. No way. If you don't believe it, says wedding reception in honor of Mr. and Mrs. Richard Podell, June 18th, 1961.
Wow.
in Somerville Inn, if you happen to be. Wow, this is, you can have your, Judy Rappaport is sitting here today. She's celebrating 5 years at Temple Judea. Judy, 5 years.
Wow.
Yes, my friend Bernie.
93 years.
93 years old. Mr. Levine, look at this. 93 is the new 80. Very nice. Yes, Sherry. Sherry bar mitzvah. I saw the photos on Facebook. Beautiful. And Mazel Tov. Barry and Sydney have birthdays together. That's amazing. 9 days apart. Are we sharing numbers?
Yes.
What's the average? What's the average? It's in the 60s. It's good. Well, Mazel Tov, and we're so happy that you're celebrating here with us. The Zwart family are here 2 out of 3 weeks. Jason is becoming a regular. We love that. We love that. More simchas. We have our newest members, Francis and Michael. The ink on the application has not dried yet, but the credit card did go through, so we know. But Mazel Tov, and we're so happy that you guys are here. We have a special guest. Oh, please. Ah, very nice. We love that. We love that. I told you I spoke a lot in the last 2 weeks. I spoke a lot about the conference. I've been at the conference. I met Rabbi Payne, and she is here today with her father. She came to visit in Florida, and she said, I'm going to come check you out. So she's checking us out. More simchas, more simchas. Yes, Joellen.
Grandson graduated from high school this past weekend.
Graduation. It's graduation. Oh, there's a big simcha. I went to the Apple store yesterday, and I saw Ellie Cohen there sitting in front of an Apple computer, devastated. It wasn't working for a week. She was in and out, but now she's here with a smile because her Apple works. Can't get better than that. Simchas, more simchas. More simchas, more simchas you can share. Yes, please. Oh, Stuart and Donna, you're here. I didn't see you. Yes.
52 years ago, we had our first Temple Judea service.
52 years ago, this week, this is Sharon Greenhill, for those who don't know, part of our founding members. 52 years ago, this week, right, mid-June, it was the first service. We're 52. Hallelujah to that, my friends. So many joys. Wow, right, Gail? Wow. So many joys. And when we talk about this a lot, that when we feel that sense of joy, let's not just keep it to ourselves. Let's not attribute it to ourselves. But let's kind of give God some credit. Because maybe he, it, she, they, them, thou are involved in the goodness. And so I'd like you, if your bodies allow you and your spirit so moves you, to please rise. And we'll say, thank you, Adonai, our God. Thank you for entrusting us with life. Thank you for sustaining us. Thank you for this opportunity to share Shabbat with Lisa and with Cantor Shira. It's much better when you hug somebody next to you as we sing together the Shehechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh lazman hazeh Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Big amen. You're already standing somewhere around you. There's someone you don't know, so make an effort. Go to that someone. Say hello. Meet them. Greet them. Welcome them. Become their best new friend.
I love it. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We're on page 24. Boachem l'shalom, malachei Shalom, malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu l'shalom, malachei Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeichem l'shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon.
Shalom Aleichem. You can't get the
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei
Anybody smoke here?
Elyon.
I have 4 more matches.
Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shakoch.
May your rest of your life at Temple Judea bring you light. May we be able to be a source of light in your life, and may you also bring your own light. My friends, we had 86 new members last year. This year we're going to get even more than that, because you know what? The best way is not to advertise in the Jewish Journal. Bring your friends with you. They'll see what happens here. They'll get infected with this joyous Judaism that inspires action. Let's say the blessing for the candles together.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner, lehadlik ner sherah.
Please bring the Kiddush cup with you. Both of you come together. We're on page 5, thanking God for this gift of holy time that we share with new family members, with old family members. Let's say together, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'b'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'rei. Lisa, don't try so hard, it's okay. Hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'tziat mitzrayim, קיבלנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Amen. L'chaim. Have a sip.
L'chaim.
L'chaim. And they're going to Africa tomorrow
Ooh.
for a month.
נסיעה
They-
טובה.
no, for more? Less?
10 days.
10 days. All the way to Africa just for 10 days? Be careful, be careful. Okay. Next time we'll go for longer. Okay. Let's continue. There's no better way to welcome Shabbat than with song. And the first song, of course, Shiru L'Adonai, page 13. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
L'Adonai, kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash.
Let's
We're
hear
gonna sing
you.
again. Shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz.
Shiru
L'Adonai, shir chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz.
Shiru
l'Adonai, shir chadash.
So during Kabbalat Shabbat, I love to hold on to good news. So this past week, I know you don't follow too much because we were following Miami Heat and they lost and that. But Israel at the same time in what is called the Mundialito, which is the World Soccer Cup for kids up to 21 years, Israel against all odds. They beat Brazil, they beat Italy, and they finished in third place. We are a soccer empire. But what was most beautiful that in a country where so many people talk all the time about division and about hatred and about violence, the superstars, the two superstars of the Israeli team who actually scored goals always at the 92nd minute and 96 are Israeli Arabs. And so you saw celebration in Arab cities as well as in the mixed cities and in the Israeli cities, and even the fans of Beitar Yerushalayim, which are known as a bit of hooligans, were willing to say, you know what? We'll take Arab players if they can bring us the third place. And you know what? If that's the way to get the peace, let's get the peace. So I wanted to sing today on page 17 on the bottom in Jerusalem, right? The mountains, Romemu Adonai Eloheinu in Har Kochoif, in the mountain of God in Jerusalem, they were praising this week. We can do that as well. The bottom of page 17.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodso. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodso. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu.
Okay, I have to bring out my secret weapon.
Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu.
Okay, let's wake up Temple Judea. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar koto. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romenu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romenu. We're going to do Lecha Dodi. We're going to ask the joyful couple celebrating 2 years of marriage. We have other anniversaries? It's just Iris and Richard. You'll join me to the doors to welcome Shabbat the bride, because this is a song about a commitment. Your commitment to each other is 62 years. We've been committed to Shabbat for 3,500, so you have ways to go. But don't worry, you're on the right track. You know this melody because we started. Page 20, Lecha Dodi. You know it by now. Ready? Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela hitoriri kiva ore kumi ori Adonai, Alai. Let's hear you. Lecha Dodi likrat kala. And let's rise. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 9. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam besimcha uvetzola toch emune am zegula boi chala lecha Bernie, did you know that there was a psalm written for you? This psalm that we're going to sing now, Psalm 92. The righteous bloom like a date plant. They thrive like a cedar in the Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they flourish in the courts of God. Even in old age, they still produce fruit. They are full of sap and freshness, asserting that Adonai is upright, my rock in whom I have no wrong. When I see you, when I see your love, when I see the kind of person you are with the constant smile and this optimism, I know that your feet are rooted in the house of God, And that until 120, 27 more, I can't wish you more than 120, you know that, that's Moses. But at least for the next 27 years, may you continue to flourish the way you do. Let's sing together, Tzadika Tamar, on the bottom of page 22.
Tzadika Tamar Yifrach Ke'erez Balvanon Yizkeh Shetulim Beveit Adonai Bechatzrot Eloheinu Yafrichu On Yenuvun Beseva Deshenim Verananim Yiyu Lehagid Ki Ashar Adonai Suri Velo Avlatabo.
We sang 4 Psalms and we mentioned God a lot, but now it's time to kind of turn our attention. God is not in the ark. God is not in the Torahs that we're about to see, but the ark helps us focus. Part of our problems as humans today is that we are so unfocused. We lose the ability to look. So when we have one focal point to look at, when we stand and we kind of have to pay attention to where we're not sitting sloppy like this and kind of, allowing ourselves, that is what it is. It's not that God is behind me right now, because we all know the presence of God is everywhere and all the time. But this Baruch Hu helps us focus for a moment and remind ourselves that there is a presence, and that presence exists everywhere. So if you can, please rise for the Baruch Hu on page 28.
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la la la.
Please have a seat. Let's remind ourselves of the grandeur of creation. I was reminded this week on Wednesday morning, my daughter flew in for Israel for 48 hours, and I had to go pick her up at 6 o'clock in Miami. Trust El Al to make Israelis wake up at 6 a.m. to come pick up. They couldn't land at 2:30. Anyways, there's that beautiful time in the morning, right, when everything changes from that darkness, and you need sometimes to, we're not always awake at those times, but when you are, it's a reminder of this grandeur of the order that is in life, even in this world that seems so chaotic and seems like so many things don't make meaning or sense. All you need is just a few moments to kind of see, wow, look around you. And so we say, blessed are you, Adonai, our God, on page 30, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being and skillfully opens the gates and thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons. ומעביר יום ומהביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, Ha'ma'ariv Aravi. You know, ahava there's two kinds of love in Jewish tradition. There's ahava she'einat tluya b'davar, a love that is unconditional, a love that is not, it doesn't depend on anything. And then there's ahava she'tluya b'davar. Then there's a love that comes with some strings, or with sometimes. So I was talking with Karen and with Ross, right? And I realized, wait a minute, Roni just flew in. She could have flown straight to Cleveland, but she decided to come visit her dad and Morley for 2 days. Out of the way, and suddenly you realize, wow, I think she might love me. And I didn't offer to pay for the flight ticket. She got sushi one evening, and I was like, not that. Like, it was just really out of, like, wow. So it's nice. But you know, when you think like that, then we should think like that about God. You know, we're stubborn people. We're stiff-necked people. We don't really do everything that, you know, God really wants us to do. And yet, somehow, time after time, God just loves us without any reason. And so we say, Ve'ahavatecha, bottom of page 32, Al tasir mimenu le'olamim, Baruch ata Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael, Shema Yisrael, Adonai. Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בהם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. Thus I shall remember to observe all your commandments and to be holy to my God. You are Adonai my God, who brought me out of the land of Egypt to be my God. You are Adonai my God. Adonai Elohechem. And twice a day we remind ourselves that we were once slaves, not because that story is so fascinating that we have to tell it twice a day, but because we have to remind ourselves, and I'll talk about that a bit later today, that we have free will. That at every given moment there's a Yetzer Ra and a Yetzer Tov. At every given moment there's a voice in us that pushes us to be lazy, that pushes us to be hurtful, that pushes us to ignore the needs of others, that pushes us to be selfish. And there's another voice that sometimes you need to dig in deep and find it, because it might be hidden behind years of trauma and baggage and whatnot. That's the voice that says, think of others before you think about yourself. Love others at least as much as you like yourself. And so that's why we remind ourselves of the Exodus, because we have that freedom to make that choice. More about that later. Right now, Mi Kamocha, page 40.
Mi Kamocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi Kamocha ne'etar ba'kodesh, norati lot, o seifele, norati lot, o seifele. Adonai Imloch leolam vaed, Adonai Imloch leolam vaed, Adonai Imloch leolam vaed. V'nemar kivad Adonai et Yaakov u'ge'alo miyad chazak mimenu, Baruch Ata Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
So Jonathan is going to be spending the summer here. And Jonathan has he's 11 years old, and he has a bit of a hard time falling asleep. He has a lot of fears. And just found this. Is everything okay? Oh! Okay. We've been streaming the bottom of the bima for the last... But what does that say? That it took somebody 40 minutes to call and complain. I guess they just love your voice so much. Do you need help with this? I'm the only one who knows how to do this here. I think that's a nice view. Harvey, they saw your kippah the entire time. We're getting this. Oh my God. Are you allowed to do this on Shabbos? Yeah, okay, I guess you can. Oh, there, oh, we got it. Anyways, we just found this amazing book that really helps kids. But I think I looked at it today, and I thought that it can really also help. Because one of the things that it does is ask the child to actually give a number to the level of anxiety, to really say, how much are you afraid? Because then you can compare it. You can say, today I was afraid 6, and tomorrow I'm afraid 5. And when you have, because just to say I'm afraid of, it's like when the doctors ask you in the hospital, let's do a reference that is much more familiar to your lives. How much does it hurt? Right? Between 0 and 10, you have to give a number, and then you know, yesterday it hurt 8, today it's only hurting 6. That's better. So I think that it's a good opportunity to kind of ask ourselves at night before we go to sleep, how good did we do today? How happy we are with what we achieved today? Am I a 4? Am I a 5? Am I a 6? Because that will give us an opportunity. Okay, I need to remain at that same level. This is the Hashkivenu. It's the prayer that gives us a moment to reflect on how our day was. And how well did we do? And so give yourself a number as we're listening to Shira today, as you're joining Shira in this prayer. Give yourself a number and then try to at least get to that number every night and hopefully improve it better and better and better as we move forward in life. Page 42.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom Leshalom Vehamidenu Shomreinu Lechaim Uthrois Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha God wrong from right. Amen. 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 Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim.
If you can, please rise on page 46. As we turn to the east, to Jerusalem, asking God to give us the ability to know what it is that we want to change, to know what it is that we stand for, so that we can express our opinion, so that we could be an agent of change and goodness and help and kindness. But sometimes we don't know what it is that we even want or what we should fight for. And so this Amidah, this standing up, this prayer done standing, starts with a yearning for clarity. Clarity of values, of morals, clarity to choose the right way.
Adonai Svatai Tiftach, Adonai Svatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha.
Please continue silently. You can follow our Siddur all the way to page 62, following the tradition prayers in Hebrew on the right side or the English on the left with the creative writings. Or just do what I like to do. Just close your Siddur all together. Listen to the best prayer book that you carry with you. That's your heart and soul. Listen to what your heart has to tell you about how to spend these precious hours of this gift called Shabbat. Create a pure heart within me. Let my soul wake up in your light. Open me to your presence. Flood me with your Holy Spirit. Then I will stand and sing out the power of your forgiveness. I will teach your love to the lonely. The lost will find their way home. Adonai, open up my lips, and my mouth will declare your praise. Please have a seat as we say, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. In the middle of page 62. Please rise. This is, for those who are not familiar, our healing talit. It's a place where we gather under those who are in need of special healing, come under the talit. And we have a covenant that I need just to remind some of us, because if somebody's standing under the healing talit, don't come to them afterwards and say, what's wrong? Now you're laughing, but that happened and it caused people to not want to come under the talit. So if somebody's coming under the healing talit, it's a personal moment and you don't know. They might be praying for themselves or something. If they want to share with you, they will. They're not here to get questions. They're here to get support and healing. So please don't be afraid that somebody will ask you and you don't want to share. But if you need healing over here, there's a lot of energy. And as you already know, around, we ask people to come a bit close. And if you can't, put your hand on the shoulder of the person in front of them, if you see that they're comfortable with it. And just bring all the energy that you have towards the center here where we need the most healing. And we say, God, please allow us to stand alone in our prayers, knowing that we are surrounded by a community that loves us, by a community that doesn't need to know all the details to say, we're with you and we're here for you when you need us. Let's pray together.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Adonai, our God and God of our ancestors, we already know what scientists are just now learning, that having faith and having joy and having hope works on the cell level, and that people with hope and that people with faith and that people with joy in miraculous ways that are probably not that miraculous heal, or are able to heal better than those who carry despair and loneliness. And so, Adonai, our God, help us remember we are never alone, and send refuah shlema, renewal of body, of spirit and soul, to all those who are in need. Ki el shomei tefillah, ata baruch ata Adonai shomei tefillah. Amen.
Amen.
Look around you. Someone might need a hug. If it's with consent, give them a hug. And please have a seat. Refuah shlema to your wife. She was in my prayers. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Apologies to the people in the house. I led Minion down there on Thursday morning and I forgot to put the camera. Now you can see us. Not missing so much. There's the famous story in the 60s, and when Coca-Cola started working in Israel, they sent this executive to Israel to research Israel and to find out what the people like and don't like and what there's going on and all these things, and to come up with a campaign for Coca-Cola. So he came back. He was so proud. He had this poster. It had 3 parts. Right over here, there was that person in the desert. He was like dying, almost like that. Then in the middle one, he finds a can of Coke and he drinks the can of Coke. And then in the last one, he's like jumping up again. You see the background of Tel Aviv. And he is so glad he comes with this concept. He implements it in Israel. 6 months later, he's called to the board meeting in New York, and he's fired. And he says, I don't understand. They say Coca-Cola sales have plummeted in Israel. Nobody is drinking Coke anymore. He says, how could that be? But look at this campaign. First he's in the desert, then he's almost dead. He finds the Coke, then he's alive. He says, but did you ask the people, did you know that they read right from left? So, yeah. Perspective, my friends. It's all about perspective. So, why did I remember this story, which it's already been told so many times that it's already become a true story. When you tell something, when you say something, we know that very well. When you say something enough times, some people will start thinking it's truth. The bottom line is that this week's Torah portion, Shlach Lecha, is the Torah portion where this kind of happens. God says to Moses, send some men, send somebody representative of every tribe, and let them go check out the land. Do they read from right to left, from left to right? What do they love to eat? What do they drink? Are there building stalls? What kind of people are they? And it's very interesting because they come back, and at first it seems like the story is going to go very well because they all have the same report. They all saw the same thing. The people there are giants, and their cities are fortified, and the land is a land of milk and honey, and they bring back this huge grapevine, right? That's, if you've been to Israel, the symbol of the Ministry of Tourism. You had the best tour guide in Israel. I know everybody has the best tour guide in Israel. And they had a little license here, and on it there was the symbol of the two people walking with this great, that's where it comes from. But guess what? Then something happens. 10 of the spies have a perspective that is different than the two. 10 of them, and by the way, that's why we have minyan is 10, because when 10 people say something, you have to listen to it. It's a saying. 10 people say, oh my God, yes, that's what we saw, and there's no way we can conquer this land. They are going to crush us, they say, like you crush grasshoppers. There is no way. Turn around, you turn, and back to Egypt. That's what they say. And only 2 of them, Caleb ben Yefuneh and Yehoshua ben Nun, Caleb the son of Yefuneh and Yehoshua son of Nun, say, yes, we saw what we said, and yes, we look like grasshoppers next to them, but what? We can do it. We can do it. We can prevail. God is with us. We should have faith, and we should have hope, and we should have courage, and we should do it. And this is the story of perspective, because the facts were the same facts. The understanding and the interpretation of the facts could not have been any different. And it brings me back to a teaching that you've heard me, but it's okay to repeat it again, that one of my favorite words in Hebrew is the word emet, truth. And it's spelled Aleph, Mem, Taf. The first letter of the alphabet, the middle letter of the alphabet, and the last letter of the alphabet. Meaning that when 2 people are holding on to the emet, one is holding on to the Aleph, the A over here. One is holding on to the Taf, the Z over here. They're both holding on to the truth. They each see the truth from a totally different perspective. One this way and that way. And I can give you 100 examples about what is happening in the world and what is happening in our country and what is happening in Israel. There are in the politics, but we don't do politics in Temple Judea, so you'll have to fill in that gap. But there are things that are happening, and people, the facts are not arguable. The perspective of whether it's bad or good, whether it was wrong or not wrong, whether it was done purposely or not, whether it's something that deserves to sit in prison or not, those are totally different perspectives. Nobody's arguing about the facts, just about the perspective. And so I want to ask you today on this Shabbat to think about this, of how do you develop your perspective? There are things about us that we're born with that are very hard to change. If you don't have genes to be tall, it's going to be really hard to make you tall, and vice versa. Not easy to shrink you. If you don't, if you're not the best singer in the world, you can learn a little bit, but you're not going to reach the level of our cantors, right? There's all kinds of things that you're born with, and you kind of, but perspective, you're not born with. Perspective is something you choose. Perspective is something you decide. And you can decide even against your instinct, because that is basically what Judaism is. It's a world of commandments. It's a world of these ideas. You need to do something even if that's not exactly what you want to do right now. It's not exactly. I don't want to pay for your dinners, and I have a theft. I'll cut this down shortly. But the bottom line is, you get to choose your perspective. You can wake up every morning and say, I'm going to change the way I interpret these facts. I'm going to try and listen to the other side. I'm going to try and listen to the person standing in front of me or the group of people standing me and try to adopt a different perspective on the same facts. And that is very hard, my friends, because while we believe that our perspective is ours, it's rooted deep, deep inside of us, and the texts gives us a clue to that. And I want to finish with that. When Moses sends the people, he says, Lechu vaturu, latur, et haaretz, go, and you can replace the word here. What would you say? Is it go scout the land, go spy the land, go check out the land, go figure out facts? We don't know what the word is because it's in Hebrew, biblical Hebrew. And we translate it as go check out the land, right? Go scout the land. They're called, or spy, the 12 spies, the 12 spies. But the word latur really doesn't have an explanation. So what do rabbis do, or what did the early rabbis do when they didn't know what a meaning of a word is? They looked for other places in the text where that word appears, see what the context is of that word. And now I can better understand. So guess what? The word latur, okay, and it has nothing to do with tourism. It sounds very familiar. No, they were tourists in the land. No, they were not tourists, that's for sure. The word latur appears in the second paragraph of the Shema, where God says, Ve'al taturu achrei levavchem. Don't follow your heart. Latur achar alev is to follow your heart that will lead you into a wrong place. The heart that will lead you to idol worshiping, and the heart that will lead you to be unkind and ungrateful and ungracious. And so this idea over there says that these spies might have already left with what was in their heart. That if they were pessimistic, they would be pessimistic. If they were optimistic, they would be optimistic. So the text is telling us it's not easy to change our perspective. It's not easy. So many books, so many books have been written about the fact that when you argue with somebody about politics, you're not having an argument of the brain or of facts of that. You're having an argument of the gut. That most people make up their political opinion way before they even understand what they're talking about. And some make their opinion even after they still don't understand what it's based on what they heard as children. It's based on what they saw at home. It's based on a book they saw, a movie, things that happened in early childhood. It's based on post-traumatic syndrome that they have. It's based on a baggage. You're arguing with someone and you don't understand. How could you not see this from my perspective? But they carry a total different set of experiences. They carry a total different set of vocabulary. They have a totally different perspective than you. And they're not wrong. They're obnoxious and you want to kill them, but they're not wrong. They're not wrong. And so the spies might have left. If you look at that one word, tatur, the spies might have left. They thought they were going to check out the land and to come back with an objective, but they might have already left with the tour in their heart, which is the decision they made before they even got to the place. Think about it. How many times did you already make up your mind about something or someone before you even gave it a chance? Everybody, only Rita is brave enough to go like this, but everybody's going, yeah, Janet, thank you. We all did. We all did. We all do that. So I think this week's Torah portion is really begging us to think that, or to see two sides to every coin, to see two sides of every argument. And it doesn't mean that there aren't times that we have to gather around what's right and what's wrong. Don't get me. But usually in perspective, we need to be able to understand that there's two perspectives. And this is the story of this week. So I asked Shira to share with us a song about two different perspectives, so that we can think a little bit about how do we make our own perspective, and how patient are we to the perspective of the other. Thank you.
Do you want a little water?
No, I'm good. Thank you. Wow. I'm going to go get a shot.
So I just want to add that the song that I'm going to sing, it's not only different perspectives from each other, but also Joni Mitchell, who wrote this song. She wrote this when she was quite young, but I've heard her sing it since she has had a terrible stroke, and she has come back. And I can only imagine what her perspective is singing this song now, 60 years later maybe, or 50 years later, after she wrote it, what she was thinking about from one side of her youth to another side of overcoming such a difficult moment and such a difficult road and a condition, and to be able to sing these same words again. So.
Flows and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feather canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way.
You can sing it with me if you want.
I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's clouds illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way you feel when every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show. You leave them laughing when you go, and if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds. I've looked at life that way, but now old friends are acting strange. They shake their heads and they say that I've changed. Yes, I've changed. Something's lost, something's gained in living every day. Well, I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know love, and I really don't know clouds, and I really don't know life at all.
Thank you, Shira.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Lisa.
V'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz. Vayom hahu yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
Before we conclude, just a few quick announcements. There is a volunteer opportunity. So many of you want to give back and do. Remember our motto in Temple Judea, joyous Judaism that inspires action. You want to do something, there's always volunteering opportunity. This Sunday, June 25th at 3 p.m., volunteer at the Quantum House to help prepare and serve food to families with children receiving treatment in St. Mary's Hospital. So call, sign up, and be there. It's an amazing experience, and it doesn't require, you can sit some, you can stand some, you cook a little bit, you schmooze with the people. It's really nice. Shabbat dinner, next Shabbat dinner is June 30th here after services, so please RSVP, call the office during the week to register for both these things. And now, we could take a deep breath and remind ourselves that even at the most joyful moments of life, we always carry with us pain. We always carry with us that the scars of challenges and the scars of loss. And so we take a moment to acknowledge that and to remember those who are with us now just in spirit. First, as a congregation, our losses from the last 30 days. Sonia Baum, our congregant and friend, and Carol Gagam, mother of Catherine Hasselkorn, mother-in-law of Jason, and grandmother of Sydney and Rachel. Stephen Schindler, son of Elaine Schindler, who passed away this week. And Ann Tannen, our congregant and friend, who also passed away this week. Many of you are here today to observe yahrzeit of loved ones who, it's hard to believe, 9 years or 10 years or 30 or 40, but somehow they still live in our hearts as if it was just yesterday that they were gone. So if you're a mourner and the name of your loved one is read, we invite you to stand so that we can offer you that love and support, that comfort. As a congregation, we remember Ernest Baker, Larry Bailey, Rosalie Bortnick Shapiro, Susan Brager, Paul Breakstone, George Clark, Bill Cohen, Marjorie Cole, Ann Cutler, Elaine Ellens, Mark Epstein, Davira Fisher, Natalie Franzblau, Beatrice Fried, William Freeman, John Goggin, Molly Glassman, Edith Glickman, Fred Gluck, Martin Goldfarb, Herd Greenfield, Michael Greenhill, Sol Kartzevitz, Paul Katz, Tara Kavana, Rachel Kroc-Lynn, Jerry Lichtman, Samuel Lutner, Mariana Nadler, Marika Nadler, Martin Nadler, Sylvia Newman, Normal Peril, Dorothy Pinto, Sylvia Robbins, Sharon Saltman, Marion Sader, Phyllis R. Shapiro, Stanley Scheidlauer, Stan, Lillian Silverman, Steven Smiler, David Sokoloff, Edna Schwartzman, Max Leo Teitelbaum, Goldie Wagner, and Morris Zudnik. If I mispronounce the name, I apologize. You're welcome to either repeat it, and if you have names to add, please rise and add a name. And we ask you all as a congregation to please rise so we can recite the Kaddish together with our bereaved and mourning friends. 294, Itkadal v'itkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach re'utei ve'yamlich malchutei, בחייכון וביומייכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם עולמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו amen. May the one who creates harmony and high help us find harmony and peace within. Help us spread that harmony and peace to people with other perspectives, and that together we can create a world of harmony and peace, to which we say amen. And we conclude with Adon Olam.
Can you play the melody a little bit? Adon Olam Asher Malach
Page 321.
Yetzir Nivra Le'et Nasa Bechepso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra
מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם אשר
מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה לתפארה והוא היה והוא הווה לתפארה והוא אחד ואין שני להכשילו להכבירה בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא העוז ולא העוז והמשרה והוא אלי וחי גואלי וצור חבלי ועת צרה והוא ניסי ומנוס לי מנת כוסי ביום אקרא. One more verse. בידו אפקיד רוחי בעת תשען ואעירה ועם רוחי גביעתי אדוני לי ולא יירא אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה לתפארה. שבת שלום. שבת שלום.
You're so welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you. Shabbat shalom. Thank